everyone. We just want to inform you that we are now live streaming on YouTube. Again, kindly share this live with your friends. Once again, this is Alpha TV making you hashtag significantly better. Stand by everyone. We are about to start in just 3 minutes. Kindly share this live with your friends. Again, welcome and good evening to all. This is Alpha TV making you hashtag significantly better. All right. Good evening, Alpha Nation. Grab your snacks and drinks and find a perfect place in your comfortable home and become hashtag significantly better through sustainable and accessible lifelong learning together. So, today's event is made possible with the help of our supportive and generous partners. Of course, IXL CIE Review Center, so you can get an additional 500 off if you are a graduate of any Alpha Premium program. So that's IXL CIE Review Center. Blessed said, it's not about the product they sell, but the words they share. Blessed PH. Next is Startup Podcast PH. And Tuos, the first Filipino cloud-based analytics platform. So you can get free 90-day trial offer. Just visit their website at alphatuos.com for more updates. All right, again, good evening, Alpha Nation. And ayan, good evening sa ating Team Zoom and Team YouTube. So we're live right now on YouTube. So pwede nyo i-share with your friends and colleagues as well. So welcome again to Alpha TV in pursuit of knowledge and continuous improvement with ASLEX PH Academy. I am Engineer Melanie Madrigal, the Chief Marketing Officer of ASLEX PH, and we are all happy to have you here tonight. All right, so without further ado, let me introduce to you our guest speaker for tonight. So for his career highlights, he is the founder and CEO of ASLEX PH Academy, a lifelong learning institution in the Philippines, certified Sprint Master Design Sprint School at Brazil, executive MBA graduate from Quantic School of Business and Technology at Washington, D.C., Master of Engineering graduate at Mapua University, co-founder of IXL CIE Review Center, a Master Black Belt at UP National Engineering Center, and internationally published researcher and book author. So he is recently awarded as CEO of the Year Awards 2023 by APAC Insider, and he is a graduate from DSU, the National Engineering University, as cum laude. So everyone, please help me welcome our guest for tonight. So none other than Sir Felix Verroya for the topic Alpha TV, Achieving Customer Delight Through Data-Driven Management. Hi sir, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Wait lang. Let me just check my... Yeah. See. All right. Let's see. Inago ko na talaga yung screen. Sige. Let me just share my screen. Thank you, Engineer Eli, for that kind introduction. And good evening, everyone. It's nice to be back here at um, Alpha TV, and where we had this started during the pandemic. Meaning the small team before it grew to this much. No, together of course with the addition of Engineer Eli in the management team and the rest of the Alpha team. So magandang gabi po. I'm happy to be back and to share with you something about basically customer service excellence, but I use the title Achieving Customer Delight. The delight was highlighted in the title. Later on, you'll know and understand why through data-driven management. Again, achieving customer delight through data-driven management. I'm happy to be with you tonight. And if you have other friends and colleagues that would want to be part of this session, please do so. We still have a pretty good number of virtual seats available here at our Zoom. And we are also live in our YouTube channel. Before I proceed, of course, I want to check whether you can hear me clearly. Can you type in the word alpha in the comment section of the Zoom chat in the YouTube channel so that I know whether I'm being received clearly. All right. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate this. Okay. So, this topic is really relevant nowadays because all of us, we had our fair share of becoming customers. And what we want as customers is that we are served right, on the right level, in an appropriate level, that like the millennials are the millennial term that is being used, the serve, the customer service that we serve, di ba, sabi nila. So, but you know, the array in the spectrum of customer service is really a wide one, no? So there are scenarios that you would be positioned in um in a particular instance that you'll receive a very positive customer service, but sometimes there will be some exceptions that it's another bad day that you've experienced a poor customer service that would irate you as a customer, and then eventually that experience would lead to not bad mouthing, but sharing the experience to your colleagues or to your network, and sometimes that bad experience, that poor customer service, ends up as a reason to lose customers for that particular business. So at the end of the day, we're in the spectrum of being customers. And for those who are here, who have their own businesses and um, side gigs and services that they offer, or products that they sell. So this will be beneficial in such a way that you would really understand how you could be more data driven in achieving this, what we call customer service excellence or customer delight. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let me jump into. All right. So this one is a game. So if you are watching live through the Alpha TV session tonight, you can participate. Later on, this will be converted into an e-learning course. So that will not be applicable anymore for those who will be taking this as part of the Alpha Digital e-learning course. So if you are watching here tonight, all you have to do is to upload the photo of you watching or participating in this particular session. Share the photo, tag our page as like Speech Academy, and use the hashtag significantly better with Aklat. And then step number three, I will choose personally five winners of 100 pesos GCash. So the one of my criteria, of course, aside from completing criteria number two, or step number two, is the the best five five best caption for this particular game. So you'll have a chance to win 100 pesos, one of the five 100 pesos GCash or Maya credits. So I encourage you to join. Okay. Now, just to give you a very short walkthrough of what I had so far. Okay, I've been part of the academy. I've been part of what they call shadow education services, or review services. I've been a book author since 2014. I'll be releasing my new book entitled Top 10 Skills of the Future and How to Build Them. I think it's going to be released before the year ends. Been pros excellence senior engineer and manager. Been part of several businesses, one of which is Aztec Speech Academy. We also have Tuos and some other businesses that we support. I've been part of international organizations, have written physical books, not only ebooks, and I've done a lot of things aligned with lifelong learning here in the Philippines. So I've been in the receiving end of customer complaints. I've been in the receiving end of customer commendations and all that, and that's what I'm gonna share from my 12-year journey as a professional who's been into customer facing spectrum of the business. Again, we'll talk about after sales service or customer service data. What is data driven management? What are the KPIs related to this part type customer service thing? What are common customer service KPIs? What is Delight as a framework, and what are the key takeaways and reflections? Okay, so I hope that you will be with me actively participating in our Zoom chat box and even in the YouTube comment section all throughout the session. Right. So before we jump into the discussion proper, I want you to watch this video. This is a short video that I prepared. So let me try if this is working.
Looking for anything in particular, sir?
Yes, that necklace there, how much is it?
It's £270.
All right, I'll have it.
Lovely. Would you like it gift wrapped?
Yes, all right.
Lovely. Let me just pop it in the box. There.
Look, could we be quite quick?
Certainly, sir. Ready in the flashiest of flashes. There.
It's great.
Not quite finished.
Look, actually, I don't need a bag. I'll just put it in my pocket.
No, this isn't a bag, sir.
Really?
This is so much more than a bag.
Could we be quite quick, please?
Prontissimo.
What's that?
It's a cinnamon stick, sir.
Actually, I really can't wait.
Oh, you won't regret it, sir.
Want to bet?
It is but the work of a moment. There we go. Almost finished.
Almost finished. What else can there be? You're going to dip it in yogurt? Cover it with chocolate buttons?
Oh, no, sir. We're going to pop it in the Christmas box.
But I don't want a Christmas box.
But you said you wanted it gift wrapped, sir.
I did...
This is the final flourish.
Can I just pay?
All we need now
Oh, God.
is a sprig of holly.
No bloody holly.
But, sir,
Leave it, just leave it.
Oh, loitering around the jewellery section, I see.
No, I was just looking
Don't
around.
worry.
You know.
My expectations are not that
All
high.
right. So I hope you heard the sound of that particular short clip. Now let me ask you, in the context of customer service, so what are your key takeaways from that particular short clip? So I'm gonna give you the next 1 minute to participate and to engage in this, in this reflection using your YouTube comment section and the Zoom chat box. Okay, so please feel free to share your insights about what you had realized, or what is your reflection coming from the particular video. Of course, in the context of customer service. And I'll try to read some of your. All right. So one participant here mentioned about process time is too long, which caused for the customers to leave. Okay. What else? What other inputs do you have? So let me try if I could access the YouTube now so that I can. Time is too long. Right, of course, we have here another one. We have service providers. As much as possible, we should cater to the needs and wants of the customers, as long as it shouldn't hurt the business. All right. And there's another one here, over processing which waste the time of transaction. Not everything added to the service is necessarily valuable. Wow, these are great insights. Thank you, everyone. Your inputs are all correct. I guess it's eight. Okay, let's include this too. Okay, and we'll process the entire thing. In the context of customer service, efficiency in processing the needs and wants of customers is of is of significance in order to satisfy them. And we also have customer experience is a little bit our customer is a little bit irritated since the service is not fast as he expects. All right. Thank you everyone for your inputs. And yeah, your insights, your reflections are all correct. Well, basically, this man is trying to buy a surprise gift or jewelry for his wife, but unfortunately, because Rowan Atkinson, or the one that we knew as Mr. Bean, is the one that is on the other end who is providing the service, and it takes a lot of time to to process the transaction, which in turn the woman, the wife, okay, was not surprised anymore of the supposedly surprise gift because she found out that her husband is buying a particular jewelry. So that's basically a general reflection and what happened to that particular clip. So moving forward, thank you for those who participated. Okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts. And what comes to your mind when you hear the word after sales service or customer service? So I haven't updated that term, but yeah, we could use after sales service or customer service. Okay, can you share your insights again in the chat box or in the YouTube section? Mm. So what comes to your mind when you hear the word after sales service or customer service? Taking care of the needs of the customers even after the sales or the money was already rendered, correct? That's actually a good definition. We have here taking into account customer feedback. That's actually a nice one. Customer service is about satisfying the customers as much as possible, right? Okay. Dealing with customer issues, correct. Okay. And some more, if there are still inputs, let me check on the YouTube. Okay, do we have other inputs here? All right. Thank you everyone who participated in this reflective question. So basically, after sales service is across, or customer service happens across the journey, which we call the customer journey. Yes, it's assisting the customer even after the purchase. So after sales service could be, or customer service could happen across the spectrum of the customer journey. As customers, of course, we will become aware of the particular product or service that we are might be interested, or we're planning to consume, or planning to have to buy to purchase, and then we're gonna have some sort of research and discovery, try to look whether this particular product is really something that would satisfy our needs or wants, and if these providers are really reliable in rendering the service, or selling us the product. And then we qualify based on our personal criteria, and we finally purchase. And of course, we're hoping that if there are things that could happen that's not um, that's not ideal, we still have access to what we call post sales or after sales. Okay, so that's basically customer service. And again, as mentioned, once we have been in contact with the customer, that starts our responsibility as provider to provide the customer service that is appropriate to our customers segment, or whatever customer segments we're handling. So in terms of definition, after sales service or customer service. After sales service refers to the activities and support provided by a company to customers after they have purchased a product or service. It encompasses a range of services and assistance provided to customers to ensure their satisfaction, address any issues or concerns, and maintain a positive customer relationship. At the end of the day, why we want to have a good customer service system in place is for us to maintain our customers and to have them always satisfied for as long as they are in our care. And also, this signals a repeat purchase, just in any case that we were able to satisfy and even exceed their expectation from managing them as our customers. Now, what do you want to do with your customers? Okay. Of course, sorry. Of course, we want our customers to be happy. We want our customers to be delighted. When I was still part of the corporate, we have one company that I was able to work with. We have this set, of course, of company values or core values. One of them is customer delight. It's not customer satisfaction. If we talk about customer satisfaction, we're talking about there's a bare minimum that is required, and then we're just satisfying it. Now, what we want is to really exceed the customer expectation. So that is now called customer delight. And later on, I'll share with you how can we achieve customer delight with a data-driven approach. Okay, so hold on and look forward for that particular framework that I'll be sharing towards the end of this particular presentation. But again, before I go to the next slide, just remember that we're now in a different, I would say, era or landscape. So customer satisfaction is, I would say, a phase of the past. We're now achieving, or we're now trying to achieve what we call customer delight. Okay? So what is data-driven management? So we've talked about customer service, we've talked about after sales service and all that. Now let's talk about data-driven management, because we have like two areas that we're trying to integrate here: customer delight and data-driven management. So let's now talk about data-driven management. So data-driven management is really, a buzzword nowadays, because we have a lot of things that are happening that is related to data and things that we could do around the data that we have from our businesses and organizations. And of course, if we have data, it is just fair to have this data be used for the advantage of our organization. And that would mean data-driven management. So data-driven management enables organizations to make more accurate predictions, optimize operations, enhance customer experiences, identify new opportunities, and stay ahead of the competition. So if you look into the list of the phrases highlighted on the green color on the first paragraph of the slide, this particularly pertains to the advantages of having data-driven management integrated to organizations. Okay. Now, this culture promotes evidence-based decision-making and allows organizations to adapt and respond to changes in the dynamic business environment, especially nowadays that we are living in a VUCA and BANI world. So meaning there's a lot of changes that are happening. We're quite vulnerable to these changes. So as consumers, as customers, and even as businesses, we should be adapting very quickly to the changes that are happening in our environment. Okay, so data actually helps businesses to do that particular shift or to adapt to this particular changes. That's why data-driven management is really essential, especially in these modern times. Now, looking at how data-driven management cycle looks like, we're going to start, of course, with collecting the data, and then we try to visualize the data or make sense of our data using graphical tools and techniques. Okay, it could range from a simple pie chart or bar chart or time series or box plot or heat maps or what else? Pareto charts and all that. So all all other graphical tools and techniques that could help us or the audience understand or the stakeholders understand what is the data all about, or what are we trying to provide as a form of insight to our audience. Then we could also go as to data analytics or analyzing the set of data that we have collected after visualizing it. So that comes hand in hand, graphical first and then statistical or numerical. And then it's going to be integrated to what we call performance management. So all the data that we are collecting and we are trying to process from inside our organization, it becomes part of how we would be managing the processes, and how we would be going to manage our resources. And that will flow up now to what we call the evidence-based decision making. Is it something that looking at the data to our, let's say, KPIs and metrics? We're going to talk about it in a short while. Is it something that would trigger action? Is it logical for us to like take this action, or is it fine not doing anything at all? So that's going to be part of what we call the evidence-based decision making. If our metrics for this particular process is green or red or yellow, so what would be the next step? And this is now linked into what we call the continuous improvement. So we're gonna have continuous improvement as part of this. Say, for example, we've identified a gap or a problem or an opportunity, then what happens next? So this will become a cycle. And then after quite some time, we're gonna like monitor the data coming from the process and still do another loop and cycle as for as long as there are still opportunity or problems that could arise from our processes or from our process inside our organizations and businesses. So that's basically how data-driven management cycle works. Now, talking about KPIs or key performance indicators, so let's have a dive into what KPIs really mean. So KPIs or KPI stands for key performance indicator. So if you're here as a student, well, basically this might be new to you. If you're here as a professional, then you might already know that these are things that we should be familiar with, because these are things that measures how effective and efficient we are using our processes in our organization. Probably for a student who will be taking this particular course or learning it via our e-learning course, this means that this is the basis whether you are performing well or not well as against to your target. So let's say, for example, in the basic premise, I'm not trying to generalize, but this is how I look at it. So for example, as a student, basically the measure of how you perform as a student will probably be your grades. Okay? I'm not saying that it is not the sole indicator, but it is one of the indicators. Okay? So that could be the case for you just to have the context. But of course, for our fellow professionals in the session, this would mean a lot of several indicators that are being used in the industry. So it is a measurable value or metric that helps organizations assess their progress towards specific goals or of insights into the effectiveness and efficiency of various processes, activities, or initiatives within an organization. Okay? So these are what KPIs is all about. All right? As Lord Kelvin mentioned, if you cannot measure it, then you cannot improve it. It's always a case whenever I do mentoring for my mentees, for specifically for Lean Six Sigma, if you're quite familiar, that they will say, "Sir, this is my potential project. Unfortunately, we don't have we haven't set up a KPI to capture the performance of this particular metric from this process." So I always tell them that you should be having the time, okay? You should have that time to time to measure it, to capture it. Since if you capture it, then you improve it. You don't have a sound basis to tell whether how are you performing and have this in especially maybe operational excellence engineers or first thing should be there is a measure for you to determine whether you are still green or red, are you are hitting the target or not, because it's really hard for you to say that you need improvement if you don't have a basis, if you don't have a baseline. So this is what it is all about. Okay, remember that. Okay, so the company's success is basically reliant or dependent into what we call the KPIs. So this is an example of the iceberg model. If you see, for example, let's say Meta or Google or LinkedIn or Tesla or X or whichever Fortune 500 companies are we talking about, their success is basically dependent on how well their processes are performing. And one of the process that I'm talking about is, of course, the process of after sales service or customer service in general. Okay, so that's why as one of the main pillar or function, if your customer service is poor or after sales service is poor, then it's gonna hurt your business. Okay, there's gonna be no company success that will be visible in the eyes of the public. Okay, now what are the common after sales or customer service KPIs? Okay, let's discuss 10 that I have collated for you tonight. So we have customer satisfaction, we have first time fix rate, we have response time, average resolution time, service level agreement compliance, customer retention rate, net promoter score, warranty claims rate, parts fill rate, and service cost per interaction. So these are both applicable. I would say for manufacturing and service-oriented organization. So we're going to discuss each of them, the definition, the description, and how they are being calculated. Okay. Again, let me remind and reiterate that this is a critical part of how you can do improvement, because before you can improve, before you can solve problems, then basically you have to capture a certain basis, which is quantitative in nature. And this is now why we are talking about this particular common KPIs. Let's start with customer satisfaction. So for customer satisfaction, it's the measurement of customer perception and satisfaction with after sales service or customer service. So the formula would be number of satisfied customers over total numbers of customers surveyed. Okay. It could be number of surveyed customers, or if there's a way to capture every customers that has been in touch or engaged with your product or service, it could be that particular denominator. So the world-class standard should be to achieve a satisfaction score of 90% or higher based on customer surveys or customer data. So first and foremost, this is actually the basic KPI for customer service or after sales service, and that is customer satisfaction. Some call it customer satisfaction index, and some would be calling it another name, but for as long as the formula is the same, then basically we're just talking about customer satisfaction. Okay. Number two would be fixed time fixed rate. So what do we mean by fixed time fixed rate? So this is the percentage of service requests or requests resolved on the first visit or on the first call. So the number of service requests resolved on the first visit or first call all over total number of service requests or service call times 100%. So for example, you bought a phone, okay, or an electronic gadget, and after quite some time, after a couple of months, it's not working anymore. Of course, you have to call in for like a warranty and whatnot, but you have to call into their let's say hotline and to request for like a booking for an assessment or repair of your gadget and whatnot. So this is being now collected the data and being checked whether on the first engagement of, let's say, for example, the repair team or the warranty team. Has the issue been resolved? Okay, so this is one of the metric that is being used. First time fixed rate. Okay, so for example, you've raised this particular concern and it hasn't been fixed on the first visit or first call. So that will have like a demerit on this particular KPI here. Okay, so the world class standard would be to achieve a fixed time fixed rate, first time fixed rate, sorry, of 95% or higher. Okay, so that's for first time fixed rate. Number three would be response time. I guess from the video earlier, I would say that response time could be a very relevant metric since the time, the time that the jeweler have responded is quite long as compared to what is expected. So the definition would be the time taken to respond to a customer's service request or request. So time taken, the formula is time taken to respond to a customer service request from, so this basically will be depending on the start point and end point that you have set inside or within your organization relative to specific processes. Okay, when inside the organization, when machine breaks down, then a particular operator will put it in the system and request for like a technician to respond to this particular request. So the time that the operator have put into the system that there's a machine that experience breakdown, and then it will now be measured from that point up until to the point that a technician is actually there to respond. Okay, so that's basically an example of response time. So the world class standard should be respond to customer inquiries within 2 hours or less. So in this particular context, we are assuming that we are in a scenario where this is used in the service. So 2 hours or less. Okay, this might change depending on the actual type of business. If you're quite interested to know more about that, I would be happy to assist. But this one is, don't take it too generally, or too specific rather, because this would vary. This would vary on business type to business type and industry to industry. Okay, but of course, for response time, as it suggests time, practically it would be the faster the better. Okay, the faster the better. But of course, we put like certain standard or limits. Okay, like for example, for fast food, uh, the response time will not be even in the less than 2 hours, because that's gonna be like it's gonna be long. So it could be like 5 minutes or 2 minutes, like for calls in a call center. So to respond in a certain call that's being measured, so it's like less than a minute or less than 30 seconds. So it would really be varied, across industries and businesses. Number four would be average resolution time. Okay. So what is average resolution time? The number three one, response time, is for you to be there in the area or in the like in the scene where the customer complaints or issue has materialized. So average resolution time is the time for you to basically address that particular concern. Again, this will vary from business to business and industries to industries. So, but by definition, the average time taken to resolve a customer's service issue. So the formula would be the total time taken to resolve service issues all over the number of resolved service issues. Okay, so the world-class standard achieve an average resolution time of 24 hours or less. Um, I know as customers, specifically here in the Philippines, it might be a challenge to have your issues resolved within the 24 hours. Some would take really days and some would take months, depending again on the business industry. But as customers, we should, I mean, we have this hat that our concern should be resolve as immediate as possible. Okay, but for providers, it takes time because there are like bureaucracies in the process, and maybe because of inefficiencies that are within the process. Even in our business, I always tell my team that we need to, as much as possible, to respond to customer inquiries or requests, and even to resolve the issues as fast as we can. Because coming from a perspective of being a customer, personally, we know that um, being empathic enough to know that the time that our customers are, the time that our customers are rendering to report these issues, to have them resolved, is really of essence. So that's one key KPI, or common KPI that we could use if we talk about efficiency and effectiveness of our customer service and our after sales service. Number five would be service level agreement. So for those who are in service, you might be quite familiar with this. So this is the percentage of service requests that adhere to the agreed service level agreements. So the service level agreement serves as our basis whether we are really performing well or not well. There could be several components to this, like on-time delivery, accuracy of the delivery, and so many other components. But this is being summarized in what we call service level agreement. So it's actually itemized in the agreement what should be what are the components and what are the targets of those components that comprises the service level agreement. Okay? So the formula would be number of service request meeting SLA, all over total number of service requests times 100%. So the world-class standard, I guess this is pretty applicable across. Maintain a service level agreement compliance rate of 95% or higher. Okay, so that's service level agreement. This is pretty much particular to service-oriented organizations. Okay, number six would be customer retention rate. As mentioned earlier, we would want to delight our customers because we want to retain them. We want a repeat purchase. We want them to be we want to maximize what we call the customer lifetime value of our customers. And for them to be like eventually an advocate or an ambassador of our business through the products and services that they get from our business. So the definition would be the percentage of customers who continue to use the product or service after an initial purchase. And the formula would be the number of customers at the end of a period minus new customers acquired all over number of customers at the start of the period. So basically, we're getting in the numbers that we really acquired all over the total number of so 1,000 customers, there are at least on a rolling basis would be about 850, right? So that's really high. To do in your organization. Number seven would be Net Promoter Score, a measure of customer loyalty and willingness to recommend the product or service. Formula would be percentage of promoters minus percentage of detractors. World-class a Net Promoter Score of 70 or higher. So Net Promoter Score basically compares, like from a survey, how many would promote or how many would not promote your or service. So that's basically just a net of pretty famous in terms of Lean Six Sigma projects that are related to customer service. So if you want to know more, I guess we're gonna have someone to share their projects sometime this month. And we invite you to join so that you see how it really works in the actual setup. So that's NPS. Last three, and then the third one to the last would be warranty claims. I mentioned about warranty earlier. So warranty claims is the percentage of product warranty claims made by customers. The formula. Oh, sorry. I guess it's the internet connection. I apologize for my poor internet connection. All right. So I hope I'm now receiving clear. Am I? Did someone confirm if it's now clear, or it's still, is it still lagging, or all right. Okay. So going back, thank you for that one, for pointing that out. So warranty claims, number of warranty is basically warranty. When you buy a TV, when you buy a refrigerator, when you buy your phone or an electric fan, or whatever electronic or electric product that may be, and then when you buy it, there's going to be a claim. Claim suggests that the product has been faulty. The product is not reliable. Products, especially products, we have a specific like useful life that we have, like the bulbs that we buy. It should run, like for example, 1,000 hours. So if there's a claim within the first after 500 hours, then that's gonna fall under claim, right? So we don't want claims because it means that our product is not reliable enough. So the world-class standard would be keep the warranty claims rate below 2%. Okay. But of course, these are safeguards that providers and manufacturers do put into this products or service that we render, so that we feel that we are guarded as part also of probably customer protection acts that are being followed in our country or in different countries as well. Okay, number 9 would be parts fill rate. So in this, again, this is in the context of manufacturing, or maybe if you have cars, they have what we call casa for those car repairs, or for those parts that are failing in our cars that needs to be replaced, or like also for like gadgets and whatnot. So excuse me. So the definition would be the percentage of requested replacement parts fulfilled by the after sales service. Formula would be number of parts fulfilled all over total number of parts requested times 100. So world-class standard would be achieve a parts fill rate of 95% or higher. So meaning whenever there's a need for a certain part, then that should be available. I can still remember just to share this story from like a small subdivision or developed property. So it's a household probably of around 150 to 200 or less, and then they have like the water tank there, and they're using like a motor to have it function. So I think is that this particular are not able to, I mean, the provider for that particular, yeah, I've seen that uh my internet signal that I'm unstable. I apologize again. So they I mean, the residents, they keep on, the house owners, the homeowners, they keep on complaining, why don't you replace this particular part because it keeps on breaking, and we are being aggravated of instances that there are no water that is being supplied. So I actually asked, around, and I was able to get an information that they don't have any parts for replacement, and the parts will take about 3 to 4 months. So that's an example of, the thing that you don't want to experience as providers, for you to have, the critical parts for that might be frequently used or requested. Okay, so you might want to look up to your data and look at the data if you're into this particular function in your business or organization, which among them should have like a good level of inventory, so that whenever there's a need for it, you can actually provide as fast as you can, and you can resume the services or the process that you're using inside your organization. Because if this happens, this will cause disruption. That's why it's one thing that is being measured as part of the customer service or after sales service. Not only for that case, but also for within your organization's consumption or use. So that's number 9. Number 10 is service cost per interaction. So the average cost incurred for each customer interaction with the after sales service or customer service. Total cost of after sales service or customer service all over number of customer interactions. The standard would be maintain a service as prescribed here. It's going to be depending on the industry and the type of the business. But of course, if we talk about cost per interaction, because the unit is cost per certain another unit or unit of measurement. So anything that is cost per unit, let's say, is always the lower, the better. So you can check, or you could consult me after even this. If you want to know more about this, I could help you out, do your research and whatnot. Okay. All right, so that's basically the 10. Customer satisfaction, first time fixed rate, response time, average resolution time, service level agreement, customer retention rate, net promoter score, warranty claims, parts fill rate, and service cost per interaction. Okay. Now, how do we achieve customer delight? We now have this data. We know that, okay, if we have this data, we're now measuring it. If you're here, you don't measure customer service metrics or after sales service metrics, then the first step, I would suggest that you start measuring it based on what is applicable from the 10 that is being that is most commonly used, and then from there, as against the target or industry benchmark, am I green? Am I red? If you're green, then that's good. If you're red, then you need to close that gap. If you see that your customer satisfaction index is just 70%, world class is 90, then you should be doing something about it. Okay, and it should be part of your system already. That, let's say, every month you're gonna like measure it. If there's a problem, then you investigate, you try to improve, and you repeat the cycle. That's what like the data-driven management cycle as prescribed in a prior slide that we discussed. Now, let me share with you as we are trying to close the session, customer delight. How do we achieve customer delight? So this is pretty much how you achieve customer delight. So delight stands for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tips that I would want to give you tonight or in this session, okay, or in this course, that would help you achieve customer delight. Okay, so using the delight framework. So first, let's talk about determining needs. Of course, there are several needs of our customers, probably depending on the product. But when the customer engage with your product or service, then basically he or she intends to satisfy the need that your product could address. So you have to understand and analyze the customer needs and expectations around your product and services. And if we put in the context of operational excellence, this is now called the voice of the customers or VOC. So At the end of the day, we should be starting off with what are the needs of our customers. Next, for letter E of the Delight framework is empathize. Show empathy and actively listen to the customer's concern. Okay. Depending on the channels, it could be through Facebook Messenger or page. It could be through email. It could be through SMS or even through hotlines for those who can avail customer service hotlines. But at the end of the day, we have to be emphatic when we talk to our customers relative to customer service and after sales. Okay, so we have to always, as we may already have heard before, put our feet on their shoes so that we know if you're the customer having this complaint, engaging with a certain product or service, if you've experienced this, will you be happy? Of course, you would always want to put it that way so that you know how to properly respond and how to properly basically get the necessary information so that you could address these issues that our customers or the concerns of the customers are experiencing. So always empathize and actively listen. Again, you don't listen for you to reply, you listen for you to understand. Okay? Next, letter L of the Delight framework is leverage technology. We are now in an era where technology is basically everywhere. Technology could provide a lot of benefits. So utilize technology to streamline processes and enhance efficiency. So for example, in handling customer complaints, so you might check for like help desk systems that is available or that is cheap to acquire for those businesses that might be taking this course that has limited budget. But of course, if you're coming from a multinational corporation, it's not going to be a big deal. Depending, regardless of how big or small you are as a business or as an organization, you have to leverage. You have to make sure that the customers are always delighted. And if you could leverage technology, then leverage the use of technology to make your process smoother and more efficient and effective. For the letter I of the Delight framework, we have improved response time. So respond promptly to customer inquiries and service requests. Coming from my experience in other business, so there's actually a feature if you're using the what do you call this? Yeah, Facebook page for a certain business. Let's say you they're actually measuring the response time. So uh when you visit the page as as a customer and then you try to use the messenger function from that particular page, there's actually a metric that will be visible whether how fast or slow you are responding to inquiries. Okay, so when measuring it as part of your KPI, then you have to compare benchmark, okay, not only within your organization but also in similar industries, how fast it's fast, okay, then so that you can improve your response time because the customers, okay, as customers, if we put again our shoe our hat as customers, we want to have our inquiries responded as quick as possible, okay, because that would mean that if we're too slow to respond, we might lose our customers. Three more, and let's take letter G of the Delight framework. Go the extra mile, exceed customer expectations, and provide exceptional service as much as possible. You might want to apply and integrate some of the first few tips that we were able to share under the Delight framework. But at the end of the day, you might want to go to the extra mile, not just to satisfy the customers, as I mentioned earlier, but to delight them, to exceed their expectations. Okay? We're not just talking about people in the customer service function or department. If you're part of a business, if you're part of an organization, if you're part of any group that you are facing certain customer segments, you might want to then this will be applicable. Okay. Letter H of the complaints elegantly. Handle customer complaints professionally and effectively. As much as possible, cliche as it may sound, the customers, they are not always right. But we still have to act professionally and as effective as possible when we are handling complaints. At the end of the day, they are still our customers for as long as um saying that they experience with our products and service, we have to acknowledge that, and let's try to uphold the highest level of professionalism that we can during this time of engagement to these customers. And last letter for the Delight framework, letter T, track feedback. Collect and analyze customer feedback to identify answer. And even in if you call like telco companies, they have that. When you attend trainings, they have the evaluation forms. So even the schools nowadays, they have like teacher evaluation forms, right? So feedback is really the way for an organization to improve. So just like after this particular session, in a couple of minutes, we'll be doing the Q&A, and then there will be announcements on how to get your e-certificates. That's actually an evaluation form. So please help us to improve. Okay, put there things that you might want to see in the next sessions, or probably how we could improve further sessions like this, or what other free things we could offer for you. So use that how they operate things. Okay, so that's tracking feedback. I encourage everyone to follow these tips: achieving customer delight using the Delight framework, determine needs, empathize, leverage technology, improve response time, go the extra mile, handle complaints elegantly, and track feedback. Okay, so there are certain approaches that could be applicable in terms of achieving customer delight. One of them would be Lean Six Sigma as I close. So Lean Six Sigma is actually a proven methodology for process improvement and problem solving. It uses the framework called the MIC approach. So defining the gaps, the opportunities, or the problems, measuring the performance of or defining the right gap, measuring the right current performance of the process. We analyze the right valid root causes. We improve using the right solutions, and we control using the right monitoring and control mechanisms. So it uses a lot of tools. And as far as my last point, that we are using, or that you will be establishing soon, if you would want to really improve on your customer service, or if you would want to achieve what we call customer service excellence. Okay, so for example, if you have low first time fixed rate, then that's going to be a problem as compared to your target or standard. So basically what you do is to measure like data collection, service requests, the reason for revisits, and what other customer feedbacks you could put into that particular database that you're trying to create. And then you try to analyze, you'll do root cause analysis, the incomplete diagnosis, unavailability of parts, and lack of technician training. So on the improve phase, you'll put like enhance the technology, improve but end rather sorry, optimizing spare parts management to ensure availability during service visits. So if these things will be implemented, how can we make sure that this will be sustained? So control talks about sustainability now. Regular monitoring and reporting of the first time fixed rate to track progress, implementing standard operating procedures to ensure consistent and efficient service delivery, and conducting periodic audits and quality checks to identify any deviations and take corrective action. So this is just a surface level showcase of how Lean Six Sigma could be applicable to achieving customer delight. Okay, if you want to know more about how this will be applicable to your business or processes, you are always free to reach me. Later on, I'll share my LinkedIn so that we could be connected and we could exchange ideas and insights. Okay, my key takeaways about this particular topic and this particular session that we had for the last 1 hour. We cannot improve something that we cannot measure. Well, basically, data is fueling how we make effective decisions for our business, but we can only have that insights, we can only have that better decisions if we have data to begin with. Okay. Our goal is to delight customers with every step of their journey with our products and services as they are engaged with the products and services that we have. And we need to continuously improve to achieve world-class standards. It doesn't mean that when you go back to your workplaces after attending this particular session or learning this particular course, it's gonna be a complete flip. Okay, so even detailed sessions, they cannot do this. So it's really a cycle. It's kaizen. It's a cycle of small positive changes and improvements that we have, and that will lead us to achieving what we call world-class standards. Right? Inspired by W. Edwards Deming. Don't just be another man with an opinion. Show me the data. With that, thank you for being with me in this particular comeback session to Alpha TV by yours truly. I am now open to any questions that you might have. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Sir Lex, for that wonderful presentation. Well, I really enjoyed this topic, and I hope everyone did as well, given we had some connection problem earlier. So, guys, I know you have a lot of questions in mind. So, this is the perfect time na mag-ask ng question with our Sir Lex right now. So, ayan, guys, our Q&A part for Alpha TV is officially here now.
All right, so I shared my LinkedIn profile or URL in the comment section of Zoom. Probably I should be dropping this as well in the YouTube. So let's get connected in LinkedIn. Okay, what are your questions or what questions do you have? Feel free to connect with me. I do a lot of mentoring and coaching to young people and students. So yeah, I would love to talk with you over, probably if you're around the area, we could talk over coffee or maybe via Zoom or Viber or WhatsApp. So or LinkedIn. So really up to you. What questions do you have?
So I think while waiting for their questions, may I request everyone muna for a quick photo op.
All right.
Hi, sir. I think we have our first question na po pala muna. So, ayan, from Maria Joy Puylong. So, naniniwala po ba kayo, sir, sa customers is always right?
Unfortunately, if you're coming from the receiving end kasi, it's not always that applicable. I would say they're not all customers are not always right. Sometimes customers are they just feel entitled since they like use money or certain resource to get the service or product. So they feel that oh, we have to oblige to whatever they are saying or telling us to do so. But I guess it's not always the case. I would bet that you've seen a lot of, probably not so good. I mean, I hate to use the word rude customers that maybe their videos or their stories are circling around. So there are fallouts. No, it's not always the case that they're always right. So earlier I shared that you just have to act professional when you're facing the customers because sometimes they sometimes I'm guilty with that, but because also I'm on from the receiving end, I try to put I try to wear their shoes that if I'll behave this way, diba, that would basically be the same case if we will be handling naman customers, for example, for aspects, diba? So it's really sometimes a matter of entitlement for customers. So technique lang is you have to manage them professionally as much as possible. So to answer your question shortly, no, I don't agree that customers are always.
Agree with that,
I hope I
sir.
was able to give you my 2 cents. Correct.
Being customer right, but not always right. Tama.
Correct. I agree also with this answer from Sai really. Customer has a right, but not always right. Right. So any other questions? Do
I
you
think we
think
question.
yeah. y- Yeah, let me read on LIPs. Yeah, thank you. Do you think peer review is advisable for performance management? I would guess. Can you confirm?
I'm sorry, sir. Medyo choppy po yung line nyo.
Oh, sorry. Um, I was asking whether this question from yeah. I was asking if the question from Naria about peer review is in relation to performance review. Na-capture ba yun? Or, oh yeah, okay. So yes, I guess it's still applicable, peer review. Yeah, it would still be applicable if your hesitation is that there will be bias of some sort or something like that, fallout maybe. There are statistical ways, grabe, like statistical ways, there are ways on how to address biases or to detect biases in certain reviews. But I guess yeah, peer review is a good, a good method to be parang reviewees or reviewees, tama, reviewers and reviewees. So I guess yes, it could still be applicable. You don't have to worry about biases and all that. There are ways on how you could basically um what do you call this, overcome it. If you are interested to know more about what statistical tool I am talking about, please feel free to connect with me. We could talk about it. offline. I will be willing to help you out. Okay. I hope I was heard clearly. I don't know what's happening with my connection, but yeah,
All right.
hope
Thank
I
you
was.
so much for that. Here, yung line. So another question is there a standard tool po ba for peer review?
Um, Up to this point, honestly, I don't have any standard tool in mind. I'm just playing on my knowledge about statistical tool and the nature of the activity that needs to be done. That's why I was able to give you that insight. But I don't have the standard tool, unfortunately, for peer review. Okay. Um, did you get it? Sorry, or my line is still fluctuating.
Pero we can hear you po. Now po hindi. So Sir Lex, are you there?
Hello.
Ayan sir, we're back.
Super choppy ba nung line or
Clear naman na po.
okay? So there's another question here from Sir Joshua. How to handle properly the customers po na masungit or galit or irate customers or angry customers? So well, funny thing is that we are receiving like calls from angry customers and irate customers, but not because of our products. There's this thing that we are that the people keeps on calling us, but they're asking for their packages from Lazada because the Lazada courier is LexPH and we're as LexPH Academy. So when you type in, like for example in Meta, LexPH, or even in Google, we will be the first one uh to 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 be returned as the result of the search. So they call us as some angry or elite customers. So um and they will tell us that they have found the wrong number and all that. So funny thing. But yeah, it happens most of the time. Well, I guess the best thing to handle the customers is to tell them to tone down so that you could speak what they call this appropriately. Okay, so okay, you can talk appropriately. Uh so that ask him or her to calm down um you can get the points of why he or she has this particular concern. Okay, and sometimes this customer will be the ones who will be making a scene. So for as long as he or she is not hurting you physically and whatnot, they could be spawning words that they don't even realize it unconsciously they're um finding things and words. So for as long as you can still manage up to a professional level, not what they call this, engaging into like a physical thing or what. So try to manage. If you don't, if you can't manage it anymore, try to escalate to whoever is um managing you. Maybe your immediate superior, your supervisor or manager. And of course, if things go south, then call for like a security. So mga mga ganung level. But for me, since when we started, I've been handling the calls. So I always make sure that I try to listen to what they are complaining about. And then I'll try to understand why it happened, try to give them an assurance that um we will be basically addressing this and proactively try to get back to them. Okay? Yun yung ginagawa ko on a personal level. So I don't know if that gives you any sense, but I hope I was able to give you at least a little light. If you're into more in-depth talks about that, I could, we could talk via LinkedIn or whatever medium that might be possible. So yeah, thank you for that question, Joshua. There are So there one more question. There are other questions coming from Ethan. Good evening, sir. What disadvantages companies should bear in mind for in pursuit of customer delight? Uh, I think one thing would be giving people things that they don't really need, that we think or that we thought would be beneficial for them. Common misconception is that um as provider, we thought that these things are needed by the customer. We thought. We never asked. We never asked them to validate. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, one thing that I see as the possible disadvantage in the pursuit of you trying to delight or exceed your customer expectations. You're putting things or items or components in your products and services that might not really be valuable to the customers. So the key to address that is to really learn the voice of your customers through feedback and just play around those items, not trying to put things that could only cost you but will not really give additional value to your customers. So that may be my tip. No, that's basically what happens kasi. So I hope I was able to give you some enlightenment. Um, One question. Any tips, sir, how to be successful just like you? Since, well, me being a CEO, it's probably, you've maybe heard a lot of things about being using the CEO title. So it's for me, it's a little bit of formality as we talk to also now bigger companies and all that. But being successful, I guess, um we have different versions of successes. I mean, each and every person has their own version of success. And it could be a case that a version of a typical success would be having this and that, being able to do this and that. So, but for me, really, it's a journey. If you want to be successful in whatever field, in whatever segment, it is a journey. It takes a lot of, it takes a lot of investment in terms of learning things, applying things, sharing things. So it's having the clear direction where you want to go. It's about understanding your strengths and how you could capitalize and maximize on those strengths. And by the way, sorry to shamelessly plug, if you want to know more about things that could help you out to accelerate your rate of success as professionals, we have a free program called ALAB, Alpha Leadership Acceleration Bootcamp. I don't know if it will be promoted tonight, but I'm inviting everyone to visit our Facebook page. Try to scroll. There's a published material there about ALAB. It's a 10 session of 4 hours each, if I'm not mistaken. We'll teach you about leading yourself, leading others, and leading organization. It's a free program. Anyways, it's a free program, so you can check that. And I'll be one of the mentors. And I don't know if you pick up something from me, but yeah, we invite you to join that. It's a online program, free. Basically, it's 40 hours. So you'll be taught on how to become better, significantly better leaders. So and professionals and individuals. So yeah, I hope I was able to answer your question, Miss Majoy. But Yeah, this is one question that is really hard to answer for, I guess, for every individuals that you'll be asking this question. Oh yeah, right. So yeah, for the interest of time, I guess we should be closing our session. It's already 8:30. I apologize for the hold up and the overtime. Eli?
All right, thank you so much, Sir Lex. So right now, ayan, may I request na everyone to open their cameras for a quick photo op. All right, thank you so much, guys. So, 1, 2, 3, smile. Sorry. One more. 1, 2, 3, smile. Another one. 1, 2, 3. All right, last one. 1, 2, 3, smile. All right, thank you so much, guys. So, ayan, before we totally let go of Sir Lex tonight, ayan, Sir Lex, may we have some parting message for our lifelong learners tonight?
Ayan, thank you for supporting this particular session and succeeding sessions pa din of Alpha TV. And please, we encourage everyone to join us in our free programs. Ang dami po namin free programs that will be happening. And then our courses in our learning management system are always free to take. So please go to aslexph.com, create an account, and take as many courses you want. We will be having some fun games and activities towards the end of the year. And one of the basis for giving away the prizes would be your activeness in the learning management system, or what we call Alpha Digital. So yeah, natuto ka na, posible ka pang manalo ng mga prizes, cash, and even free courses, free premium courses from our activities. So yeah, so please, let's be in this particular journey, let's continue to be hashtag significantly better through accessible and sustainable lifelong learning together. Maraming salamat everyone, and have a happy weekend.
Sir, on behalf of everyone here today, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. So your insight about achieving customer delight through data-driven management helped us become hashtag significantly better. So guys, just a reminder, don't forget to fill out the evaluation form because it will serve as your slot to get your e-certificate. And the link will automatically close 30 minutes after tonight's event. So ayan guys, we'll be giving the link later after just some announcement. So once again, today's event is made possible with the help of our supportive and generous partners, IXL, Blessed, To Us, and Startup Podcast Page. So follow us on all our social media accounts at ASLEX PH Academy to keep you updated on all other announcements and other free webinars just like Alpha TV. So guys, another way you can effectively learn and become hashtag significantly better with us is by enrolling now on our online courses and self-paced program. So here is Yellow Belt. This is an entry level of Lean Six Sigma practice. So basic diagnostic and quality tools and techniques are taught in this program. So you can join the next round on September 23 until October 1. There's only for 5,000 for professionals and 3,000 for students. So we have also the self-paced version of Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt for only 2,990. So next is the Project Management Fundamental Certification for only 2,490. And the Green Belt Certification Program for only 20,000. And the self-paced version of Green Belt is for only 14,990. And of course, the black belt. This is the thorough understanding of all aspects of the MAIC. So you can join the next run. Sorry, I think this is not yet updated. Anyway, this is the self-paced certification program summary, so you can take a screenshot of it for your reference. Of course, we still have our promo of join a group of 5 and pay per only 4 packs. So for another announcement, so you can jumpstart your career with internationally accredited Certified Data Analytics or CDAA program, proudly presented in partnership with Philippine Institute of Industrial Engineering National Student Chapter. So let me paste the link here for those interested. All right, so another one is that we have our newest partner, which is BillIs. So BillIs is a buy now pay later app, and we have a promo exclusively at Aslex. So for only 2 months, you can avail the 25% off down payment. Otherwise, it is 33%. So this promo is valid until October 31. So this is Aklat. So let us all hear it from Sir Lex.
Airport. And may similarity ba ang Aklat promo ni Aztec Speech Academy at itong airport? Answer is yes. Both of them can bring you to places. So ano pang hinihintay mo? Avail Aztec Speech Academy's Aklat promo para magkameron ng access sa more than 400,000 worth of self-paced training and certification programs from innovation, sustainability, analytics, and continuous improvement. Now only offered at 39,990, and that's 90% off. Only for 100 packs. Meron na lamang 90 slots, so hurry and grab your seat now. Let's continue to be #significantly better for accessible and sustainable lifelong learning together. May similarity ba ang Aklat promo?
All right, so that's Aklat. So that's an unlimited access to all our elite range of courses. So let me just paste the link here for those interested. So ayan, yung in-announce si Sir kanina. So this is Aslex PH Academy Leadership Acceleration Bootcamp version 2.0. So this program will be once again offered for free for the second time. So we had our last run last year. So the registration is still open for all interested. So just scan the QR code there. And of course, we want to invite you na din as early as now for the second Lifelong Learning Conference. So keep following us for more details to be updated soon. And of course, Alpha TV special episode will be having this every Wednesday, 7 p.m. So, ayan, instead of casual Alpha TV perks like e-certificate, free webinar, and Q&A, we've prepared an exciting lineup of virtual games, quizzes, and a thrilling Gcash raffle. So, ayan, see you guys every Wednesday, 7 p.m. And of course, Aslex PH is still open for partners and ambassadors. So if you support our cause of promoting lifelong learning, this is perfect for you guys. Of course, you can visit us at aslexph.com/courses and join the Aslex PH Alumni Network at Aslex PH Academy Alumni Network Facebook page. So here it is, guys. Let me just paste the evaluation link at the comment section and on our chat box here on Zoom. Sorry, I can paste the link on YouTube right now. So you can just scan the QR code flashed on the screen. So guys, that would be all for this event. So ayan guys, we hate to say goodbye, but in every beginning, there is always an end. But don't be sad, everyone. We just hope to see you again next Friday, same time, 7 p.m. Yeah, for another episode of Alpha TV session like this. Once again, this is Alpha TV, making your hashtag significantly better. Bye, guys. Stay safe and good night. Thank you.